Hi, everyone. Here's an interesting question for us. I have a question about feelings in the body. For example, I know the theme of others not being interested in what I have to say, for example, is present and reoccurring, but I can't find a feeling in my body when I attempt to sit with this. If I think about it, I really try to bring it to mind and I make it matter in the moment. I can cry perhaps, but then it's the feeling of crying. Does it take practice for a localized sensation to become clear, maybe? So this is an interesting question, isn't it? Because what we've got is a thought. There. So we might be, say, in a group, maybe we're out with friends, everyone's chatting, and there's a thought. They're not interested in what I have to say. And we might find that thought keeps coming in different situations, maybe at work, in a meeting, with our family, maybe. We might find that we have this feeling that we're talking and people are sort of drifting off or interrupting us, not asking questions. Um, so this keeps coming. And so really the question is, um, in a way, the question I would say is how do I get rid of this thought? Because even though there's not really this feeling in the body, the listener is sort of asking for how do I identify a localized sensation in order that I can heal this thought. But I wonder if maybe we don't try and do that. We don't have an agenda around it. Maybe we just consider that it might be true. It might really be true, because I don't think that not many people are actually that interested in listening to anybody, really. Um, we're all of us, so wrapped up in our own stuff, and often speaking, being heard is such a way for the identity to be stabilized. I'm someone, I've got attention, they're listening to me. And so if we have, maybe we have that, it's a sort of form of dominance in a way of to fix people's attention on me, even if they're not interested. There's a sort of power play sometimes. I might just be talking and talking and talking, and no one can really interrupt me because I've got the floor. And so they might be there, it might be silence around me, but it doesn't mean that people are listening. I see this sometimes. As I'm saying this, I'm thinking about some of maybe my webinars. Yeah, it's good for me to think about this. So it just might be that people aren't interested in what we're saying, and fine, because then we go to the question, why do we want people to hear what we're saying? Which is a really interesting question, because that then brings us right down to the content of what we're talking about. Why is it necessary for them? Why would it be really helpful for them to hear? If I'm shouting fire, because a building's gone up in flames, very useful for them to hear it. If I'm holding forth about all the interesting things I did on holiday, maybe not so much. So I think this question is taking us really to a look at what it is we're saying, and what's the purpose of being heard. Because if the purpose of being heard is to stabilize my identity, um, it's it that it's never, there's never going to be any freedom in that. There's never going to be any learning really. But if we really consider what's the actual aim of these words now, then it starts to bring everything into form. And it might be that through that greater inquiry, which would make the identity more transparent, if that's what's going on, then we might then get to the emotional aspect of it, the conditioning aspect of it. Maybe we weren't ever listened to as children. Maybe we were continually told to shut up. Maybe we were in a family that talked over the top of us. Maybe there were dominant people in our lives that had all the attention. So then that might start to uncover this inner conditioning. So we can go in both directions. We can start just to see where there's resistance when that goes on, and see really that sort of, when there is that survival mode, you have to listen to me. It's because of this conditioning of separation. And at the same time, this really practical look at what's the point of talking, really, you know. And then I think what that can lead us to this amazing exploration of conversational exchange, which the more transparency there is in that, and the more it's understood really as a it can all take place in this absolutely unquestioned reality, in which there's this sort of fight for survival within the conversation, because that represents me in that, and to be heard makes me stable. Or it can become more and more clear what's going on, and that need to secure myself within a conversation starts to go, and then it just becomes about the topic that's being talked about, and then it's just two body minds speaking and listening, with no one doing the speaking and listening. Really amazing. So so much in this. We could talk forever about this, and we're looking at it a lot in the them course. So yes, thank you so much for that question. Lots of love. Bye.